Hey, Russ, I know that it's been a few months now since all this was going on, and Pete Carroll says the trade rumors are old news. But looking back, did you ask your agent to reveal those four teams that you would waive your no trade clause for? And do you have regrets for how the situation played out?
Well, I think first of all, obviously I love Seattle. I love playing here. I've had a great career here so far. I've always wanted to play here for my whole career. Obviously, uh, I think there were some unfortunate frustrations after the season. Obviously, you want to win it all and do it all and do everything you can. And I think everybody on our team does. We all want to win it, and I think unfortunately it got a little. A little bit blown out of proportion a little bit. I think that my ultimate goal is to win. I get paid to win. I get paid to find a way. I get paid for us to be able to make a play. Continue to find ways to win, and we've done a lot of that over the years. And the mission is to continue to do the same, but do a little bit more. And I think the reality is that that's the only thing I'm focused on is winning and doing whatever it takes to win. That's why I wake up every day and lace my cleats on and train every day, and that's what my teammates are doing too. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. In terms of the trade talks, I think that anytime you play professional sports, there's always a possibility of something happen, right? And I think that's just the reality. I think that there's a lot of teams out there that people were saying that I was going to or would go to. I requested a trade. I did not request a trade. I've always wanted to play here, and the reality is, I think calls were getting thrown around and this and that, and I think that's just a reality. But I think at the end of the day, the real reality is that I'm here, and I'm here to win. And I'm here to win it all.
Bob?
Yeah, Russell, I guess specifically with the comments you made about the offensive line and being frustrated with getting hit, some people have taken that as maybe criticism of the offensive line. Do you feel like that's anything you would need to sort of clear up within the offensive line, or do you feel like, did you mean that as sort of a direct criticism of the offensive line in general?
Not at all about the offensive line. I think that I also I mentioned that the reality is that I can do better too. I think that's we're all trying to find ways to win. We're all trying to find ways to be better. And I think that listen, Dwayne Brown's one of my closest friends, man. That guy's everything to me. I think about D. Lou and what a player he was last year. He's going into his second year. I think about a guy like Posick, who's been tremendous up front and how smart he's been. I'm excited about Gabe Jackson. He's been amazing in the Zoom calls. He's been amazing in his approach, how tough he is. I've watched a lot of film of him, and just how good he's been. And then obviously Shell over there at right tackle, and got a lot of other guys that can play too as well. So I think that I think about a guy like Kyle who stepped in to play center for us in a big game last year against the Rams and played injured and played dinged up and all that. I love my teammates. The reality is that guys, I think about guys like Bobby Wagner, a guy I've played. This is going to be my 10th year with him. How special he is and how special our bond is. I think about a guy like DK Metcalf. He's like my little brother, Tyler Lockett, who's one of the most unbelievable people you could ever meet, but also talented guys you could play with. I think about the hard work Freddie Swain's put in, Chris Carson. I think about our Jamal Adams and how amazing he's been, addition to our team. Obviously Diggs and other guys as well. And so for me, playing on this team means a lot to me. Winning means everything to me, and I think that's the heart of hearts of and everybody on my team and everybody in our team in the locker room. They all know that about me, is that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win and try to find a way to win every play, every moment, every second, and that's just in my blood.
Greg Bell?
Hello, sir. What was the intent? What was the intent of having your agent give four teams so publicly?
Well, I think there was a lot of confusion because the reality is that I forget. I think I was in the Bahamas or somewhere, and everybody was saying that I requested a trade, and that wasn't true. So we made it clear that I did not request a trade. And then there was teams being flown around that I was going to go to those teams, this and that. And so, I think that when you look back at it, it's part of I don't know. I think it's part of it, unfortunately. And I think that more than anything else, that I got my wish, in the sense that I've always wanted to play here. That's where I am. That's where I am right now, and that's what I've always hoped for ever since 2012 when I put all the names in a hat and pulled out the Seahawks out of a hat, and then sure enough, about 30 days later, the Seattle Seahawks picked me. So, that's my mission, that's my goal, and that's why I'm here today and ready to roll.
Do you feel that you have to explain to the locker, especially younger players who might think Twitter and Instagram is gospel? Do you need to explain yourself to them, what's going on?
No, I think the best way to explain it is by my approach every day in the Zoom calls, by my approach, on the field, obviously, and I have great relationships with a lot of guys on this team. I think also too, what explains everything is winning. Just finding a way to win, and I think that's just the truth of this game. That's the truth of professional sports every day, and that's what I wake up to do.
Joe Fan.
Hey, Russ, is there any way it sounds like there's some maybe confusion of what happened from maybe our end and what happened from your end. What was put out there was Adam Schefter reported 4 teams that you'd be willing to be traded to. Was that list not supposed to get out there? Well, like that wasn't like, maybe it didn't come out of nowhere. That was there were rumors that was destinations that you'd be willing to accept trade. Now I know it's different than asking for a trade, but how did that come to pass?
I think, like I explained a little bit before, Joe, I think that the reality was there were a lot of people, there was a whole thing saying that I requested a trade, and that's just not true. I didn't request a trade, so I think everything kind of started from there. And then obviously tons of teams were calling, and I think that the reality was that I didn't really want to go anywhere else. I wanted to play in Seattle, but if I had to go somewhere, these are the teams I would go to consider. At the end of the day, I have no trade clause, right? So I think, I think for me though, I had a great conversation with Coach Carroll. Had a really great conversation with John too. And Coach Carroll and I spent a lot of time together, one-on-one, and we're on the same page. We're here to do what we're meant to do, and that's to win it all. And I'm excited. I'm excited about who we have, the guys we have. I'm excited where we are. Coach Carroll and I's relationship couldn't be stronger on it. And like I said earlier, my focus is to win, and winning is everything to me.
What do you think of? What do you make of the Gabe Jackson trade? Having him now, I think he's going to play right guard. Damian's going to move to left side. Do you think that maybe was a result of the urgency you maybe put on the organization with your comments early in the offseason?
I don't know if it was a result of it. I don't know about that. But I do think that, first of all, Gabe Jackson is a spectacular football player. I mean, watching his tape, watching his film, he is tough as nails. He can do everything. I'm excited to play behind him. He's a really special player. So he's been great in meetings too. I believe he's coming out here pretty soon, getting ready to roll. And and then D-Lou, the kind of player that he was last year. How much more can he evolve? I mean, I just think about year 1 to year 2, even for myself. How much I grew. I think about DK Metcalf, year 1 to year 2. I mean, it's just going to be really cool to see, how much he grows in this moment. And I'm fired up to get behind those 2 guys, obviously D-Lou and obviously Gabe Jackson, and then and the rest of the fellas too.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Russ, you said on Dan Patrick that you would like to be involved in personnel decisions maybe more than you already are. Were you this offseason?
I think that we're always having conversations. I don't make the final decisions or anything like that. I think that what I love to be around. I love to be around guys who go as hard as they can every play, every moment. And we got all those guys on this team. So that's what I'm excited about. We got a great group of guys. As you guys were out here at practice, just watching guys like Penny Hart go full speed every rep. Guys like I mentioned earlier, Freddie Swain and DJ Dallas. I mean, there's a lot of great players on this football team. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to win, and so I think that I've played a long time. I've been around a lot of guys, played around a lot of great players, and also I've played against a lot of great players. So I have some good understanding of guys, players offensively, defensively, not just offensive guys, but also defense. And it's always cool to just to be with great players. And we got a lot of those guys for sure.
What is your understanding of how the offense will work this year? Will it be more of when you were quote unquote cooking, or more of when the heart and soul of the team was running the ball?
I think we'll have a great mixture of everything. I think that we definitely have some tremendous receivers. Obviously Tyler, obviously DK. As I mentioned, the younger guys, I'm excited to see Eskridge get out here and make some plays. Freddie Swain, Penny Hart. We got Gerald over here who can really make some unbelievable catches, unbelievable plays. He's on our team now, so that's a good thing. We spent a lot of time together. Gerald, Colby, Disley, that tight end group, I think is going to be the best in the National Football League. our running back, Chris Carson. I think there's nobody better. So the good thing is we can do it all, and I think that Shane brings a great versatility. Something that I love about him is that he really understands the game in all aspects of it. Situationally, he's been in a lot of different places. He's been at successful places. I think this thing's about to follow me back here, a little windy, but I think that with Shane, I think that he also being at the Rams, being at the Redskins, being at the Patriots, he comes from great perspective. And we've spent a lot of time together talking ball, spending a lot of time. He loves ball, so that's what I love about it. So I'm excited about the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Brady.
Hi, Russ. I know you said you didn't mean for your comments to come off as criticism of your offensive line, but do you feel like any of them took that way? And if so, did you have to have any conversations with those guys to clarify what you meant?
No, I don't think anybody took it that way. I mean, I think the guys know how passionate I am about winning. They know that from me, and I always have great conversations with guys. We had some great convos. Dwayne and I talk, all the time, about a lot of different things, from obviously football to life to basketball. We were talking playoffs, every moment right now. I mean, so many different guys on the team, and so Posix, had another baby, so there's so many things that we talk about outside of football other than just the game, and our relationships go a lot deeper than that. And so, I think for me, I think anytime you play this position, I think guys always want to see, how much you put into it. I think it's just reality. I think guys know how much I put into this daily, every second. Getting up at 4 a.m, working, your tail off to get ready and to be in the best shape of my life. And I feel better. I feel faster. I feel stronger. I feel smarter. I feel younger. I feel more dangerous. And that's where I am right now. I'm excited about this season.
And one follow-up on a potential contract restructure. What have the conversations been like on that, and doing something similar to what you did in 2017? And would you be willing to do that?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. Pete and I talked about it for sure. Obviously, and considering it, me and him had a long conversation about it. I brought it up, and he talked about it too, and we both, in the sense of just doing whatever it takes to win. I think that, anytime that I can help. Obviously, I did it with Dwayne before, and obviously he's been such a spectacular player for us at left tackle. I mean, think about how many games and plays he's made for us. So. If the situation calls for it, like I said, winning's everything.
You said you brought that up to Pete?
Yeah, we talked about it for a long time, yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Larry.
I can't, Larry, I think you're on mute, bud. There you go.
Sorry about that. Should know that by now. You said you wanted to be in Seattle. Do you still see yourself being here long term? And there's some people who think that this situation is just being kicked down the road till maybe next offseason. How do you prevent this from kind of erupting again?
Well, I think any time in sports, obviously things can change. I think that's just the reality. Everybody knows that, But I think that for me, my heart of hearts, and I love the city. I love this place. I love everything about it, from the moment I touched down to Seattle Children's to our Why Not You Academy to everything else that we have going on. This place has meant a lot. And ultimately, I love the fans. I love my teammates. I love this coaching staff. I love this building. So every time I come up here, I get excited. Just to get ready to go again. And every morning I wake up to win, and wake up to win another Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks. And that's my mission. And so, to answer your question, Larry, I think that in my mind, I think one of the things that, one of my gifts in my space is to be able to compartmentalize, and the reality is that I think that, I've always been able to compartmentalize from the highest of the highs of life to the lowest of the lows sometimes. And the reality is that, my mind is so focused on us doing it, doing it again, for the city and us winning it all. And so, it takes a lot. It takes a journey. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of great moments, some tough ones too along the way. But I know that we can do it again. And so for me personally, I hope I play my whole career here. That's my mission. That's my goal. And at the end of the day, winning is everything to me. Winning is the thing that I think about every morning and every night. So hopefully we can win a lot more. And hopefully we can win several moving forward.
Art.
Russ, I'm sure you saw this. The club president put out his annual newsletter to the season ticket holders encouraging renewal, mentioning players who were coming back, and your name wasn't on it. Was the club confused, too, about your future?
I don't know. Those are, I think there was a typo, or I don't know. Maybe there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a typo. Listen, I think that Chuck and I had a great conversation. Pete and I had a great conversation. John, it's after that, and obviously that was a big thing during that time. That made it a little bit interesting, I think, along the way. But listen, I think that Sorry. What'd you say? All right.
What was that? What was your response to that in the conversation?
I think the thing about winning, Art, at the highest level, is the reality is that your mind's got to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind's got to be stronger than your feelings sometimes. And I think that the reality is that you can't get emotional or have feelings about little things, this and that, what's left out, what's not left. I think more than anything else, I know what my intent is and what my goal is, for this football team. And when I get under center every day, and that's to win. That's to win it all for us, and for us to do it together. And that's what I'm excited about. So I don't know. I think they made a typo, or I think it was on accident. I think somebody left it out on accident.
Jonathan Boyle.
Russ, I know you talked about Shane a little bit earlier, but just so far after spending a little time in the playbook, what are your thoughts on his offense? And DK yesterday called it intricate. Just what do you think of this new offense?
I think it's super complex. I think that we have a lot of great things about it. We're going to be, able to mix a lot of personnel, a lot of different people around, using the whole field. I think we're going to be able to, do everything that we want to. I think that the thing about Shane is he's got, like I said earlier, he's got a great understanding of the game, and for us to be together is going to be super exciting. I had a great conversation with him, several conversations along the way with him during the process, and just I really believe in him. I believe in this football team. I believe in the guys that are in the huddle with me, and he makes it really smooth. A great transition. Obviously, we've been here for 4 days now, or whatever it is. And it is seamless out here. I think you guys are obviously out here today, and just how efficient, how sharp, how clear, how how the ball's coming out, how we're making all our throws, catches, running the ball well, doing all the things we want to do, and that takes a lot of time. I mean, the hours upon hours on Zoom calls and us talking extra, me and the guys and the players spending a few hours a day extra. Guys coming down to San Diego, California, to get the work in together, and us doing all that. All of that has shown up in the 3-4 days we've been out here, and it's been spectacular to see. So I'm excited. I know Shane's excited too. And so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Masvita.
Yeah. Hey Russ, wondering if you can go over the decision for the vets. You guys got together, decided to come back a week early for mini camp, and just what does that show competition wise and willingness to want to win?
Yeah, I think that first of all, I think safety meant a lot to us, trying to make the best decision possible at the time with all the things we didn't. There was nothing really out from the NFL yet, and all that, what the plan is, and all that. So, we made our decision early on, and then as time went on, we had several different conversations. We had several conversations at the beginning, all the players and the vets and the leaders, and then also with the whole group early on, before OTAs ever started. And then fast forward, we had several during the process, and we just had open dialogue. We had great conversation. Obviously, Tyler Lockett, myself, Bobby, we helped kind of lead some of those conversations, obviously, and we also listen to the guys too and try to understand where everybody's coming from, trying to make sure that we do everything the best way possible. And I think the best thing, to be honest with you, I think that the interesting thing is that what's happened is the rookies have gotten a lot of reps, right? So because they've been here for 2-3 weeks before that, and we've been on Zoom calls the whole time, so we've been dialed in. Last year, obviously, we had a great season last year. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but we played extremely well early on, and throughout the whole process, we battled in a very tough division and played great, obviously. But I think that what's been really cool about it is we really mastered the Zoom situation, which is hard to do, if you don't really know how to have a plan and have a process and have fun while doing it, but also understand. And we spent so many times, like I said, an hour before the calls meeting, then, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours after, guys coming down, working together, all that time. And so we felt very confident that we know this stuff and we're going to excel whenever we get together. And we spent a lot of time calling plays, like I said, down in California or whatever it may be, or even on the Zoom calls, just getting really comfortable with it. So our minds were really in tune. And fast forward, I don't know, about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks maybe before we came here on the 7th. Kind of got together and had a cool conversation with the guys and said, hey, listen, let's try to get together that week before mandatory, get back on the field, feel the energy, feel each other. Let's go to work together on that and be prepared at the highest level. And then fast forward, go into mandatory minicamp so we can have that kind of ramp up period for that. And then keep going. You can't relax in the summertime. And so we understood that, we especially, Bobby and I particularly, we talked about just the off season of it all, post after mandatory minicamp. The guys really had to take care of themselves, take care of their bodies, take care of their minds, their souls, all that. And Tyler Lockett did a tremendous job giving us all the information for the NFLPA and all that, and we had several different conversations. So, like I said, we've always been committed to winning and doing it the best way possible, taking care of our teammates, and everybody associated, or even our families, and doing everything we can to be together in the most safe possible way.
Softy.
Hey Russ, thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Question. You've said today multiple times, I think, that you never requested a trade and that you've always wanted to be a Seahawk. And you just said, I think a few minutes ago, that the only thing that you're focused on is winning another championship in Seattle. If that's the case, why on earth would you allow all this speculation and innuendo to fester since March, since the report came out with the 4 teams that you'd like to play for if you were traded? Why wouldn't you have ended this months ago? Why are you waiting until now to talk?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think, first of all, sometimes things are family matters. Not everybody else is a part of it at the time. Because the reality is that, there was calls going around that I could have possibly been traded. And so, I think the reality is that we had to have a lot of conversations. We had some great ones along the way, and it made our relationship stronger, really, me and Pete and John and all that. So. And I think more than anything else, the reality of sports, Dave, as you know, is that, a lot of things can happen, right? And that's just the reality, right? And I think sometimes, there's been a lot of great players been traded before. There's been a lot of great moments that have happened. There's been some tough moments along the way, this and that. And I think that for me, I think the reality is that, the greatest thing about it all is I'm here. I'm ready to roll. I'm more focused than ever. Like I said earlier, I feel faster. I feel stronger. I feel smarter. I feel better than ever. The reality is that I feel more dangerous than ever. I feel like I can do everything we want to do, and I'm excited about that opportunity. And you know what heals all things, Dave? Winning.
Jackie.
Hey Russ, what goes into the off season for you when you're having to learn a new playbook? And does that mean bringing even more guys together with you down in San Diego, or what's this process like for you?
Yeah, I think being ahead of it, Jackie, is just really understanding. I think that for me, I've kind of gone on a journey throughout my whole career, of getting guys in Hawaii or going to, Manhattan Beach and getting to work, or going to different locations and getting a big group of guys together. Obviously, COVID kind of changes that a little bit, Jackie, because you don't want to get too many guys together in one location, obviously. So you have to do the COVID testing process and do all that to keep guys as safe as possible and keep everybody's families as safe as possible. So you work in smaller groups, smaller pods, which I think is sometimes even more advantageous because you get that great one-on-one work. I think me and Colby, Desi, like I said, Gerald, we spent a lot of time together. A lot of several other guys too. And so I think the biggest thing is that I think being really strategic with the circumstances of the world right now, being really strategic of how we bring guys together, and then also too, I think also the time that we've spent. I mean, I go to the Zoom calls and I think about the group after. So we have these 2-hour calls or whatever with the coaches and all that. But I think about the pre and post meetings with just the players that help run and all that, and just all of us being on there. I think there's probably 15 to 25 guys extra, every time. Just getting the extra work and just talking plays and me running through plays and giving them this and that and just whatever information and vice versa. So it's been really, really great. And to be honest, sometimes you don't get that experience as much when sometimes when you're even here, just because everybody's going to go in different places, right? So when everybody can know, hey, we're all here on one call, you actually can learn more and use a little thought process, as long as you have a plan. I think that's the biggest thing. I think always having a plan of how we can get our work in and how we can grow and be the best possible.
All right, 2 more for you. Curtis?
Yeah, Russ, how big of a departure is this offense from what you've run in the past? How big of a learning curve do you expect it to be, and what will look different about it in the end?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, I wouldn't say it's a massive departure. I think that we have a lot of the core concepts and things that we've done over the years have been extremely, extremely successful. I think that we also have some nuances across the board that really challenge the defense. Like I said, using the whole field and really expanding the offense and just using everybody as much as possible, all different formations and different looks and different tempos and all that. I think that obviously the tempo part of it is something that's real. I think also too is just I think Shane brings a really, really cool thought process to it all. And I think the best part is we get to go out and practice it and work at it and get better as much as possible. And guys are prepared. They're smarter than ever. I think we're really ready to roll. And I feel really confident about it. So I'm excited.
Brady?
Russell, one more on just the timing of what you said in February. If I remember right, we had talked to you earlier in the offseason, and you didn't really give us any indication of your frustrations. Why did you feel the need to say what you said when you said it, and did it have anything to do with having just watched the Super Bowl?
Well, I think that, first of all, I was supposed to go on Dan Patrick's show for Man of the Year. And that had gotten booked like 2 weeks before or a week and a half before. So I was going on that show to go do that and talk about that. And I was really excited about it. And then, I got asked some, tough questions along the way. I think it, like I said, I think it got a little bit blown out of proportion, unfortunately. And so, like I said, I think that, listen, when I'm sitting in the Super Bowl and watching the Super Bowl, like, I should be pissed off, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you should be wanting to sit there and watch the game and want to be there and want to play the game, especially when you played in it twice. It's one of those things like, man, we got to get back here. But I think that wasn't really frustration. I think that it was more so just having a conversation and just I think it got a little bit blown out of proportion. I think that the reality. I don't even remember exactly how it all went, but I do remember me saying that I got to do better too or whatever. So listen, I think that like I said earlier, we couldn't be better, more better than ever right now. I think that we're really excited about where we are, excited about the guys that we have. I mentioned all the guys earlier, but I think from Dwayne to D-Lou to Posick to Gabe and his addition to Shell and I know Big Sed's competing too. I know Kyle, all these different guys, and so I'm excited. I'm excited about Chris and all the running backs that we have. I'm excited about the receivers that we have. We got, I think, the best duo in the world. In terms of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, I think we got the best tight end group. I think we could be extremely, extremely, dangerous along the way, powerful along the way, fast, quick, can do it all. I think that's exciting. And on top of it, I think we got a great defense that can really be special throughout this season coming up. And you got some tremendous players like Jamal and Diggs and Bobby and so many other guys. And Dunlap, number eight now. He ran on the field number 8. So I was like, who's that big guy? But we got so many great players, man. And I'm excited, man. I couldn't be more excited than ever. I'm fired up about it all.
Thank you.
All right, Russ, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. All right, go Hawks.